Welcome to Minute with Myers. And today, in a Bible reading from Psalm 78, I want to challenge you because this challenged me. The psalmist is writing about the things that we have learned from our ancestors and handing that on to the next generation. Right? He's talking about the things and the wisdom and says the ones and the things that we have learned about, the ones that our ancestors told us, we won't hide from their descendants. We will tell the next generation all about the praise due the Lord and his strengths, the wonderful works that God has done. This is so that the next generation and children not yet born will know these things, so that they can rise up and tell their children to put their hope in God, never forgetting God's deeds, but keeping God's commandments, and so that they won't become like their ancestors, a rebellious, stubborn generation, a generation whose heart wasn't set firm and whose spirit wasn't faithful to God. Wow. And as it soaked in, as I was just letting that Psalm 78 soak in, couldn't help but think about when I have discussions with my kids and they talk about how could your parents, how could you and your generation have done that? How could the generation before you have acted in a way? How could generations before them? And for example, like how could we have allowed slavery? And I don't have a good answer. I have an answer that it was, and I have an answer that we're not going to have things like that now. But the psalmist here is writing that all of that weight and responsibility falls on you and me today. I think we get caught up sometimes in the moment of today and we worry about how we love our neighbor today. And that is a good thing. We should love our neighbor today. But what the psalmist is writing that is the biggest challenge for me is how are we loving our neighbor tomorrow? What are we doing today that makes the world a better place tomorrow? What are you doing today that makes the world better tomorrow for the next generation and the next generation and the next generation? What legacy are we going to leave them about, yes, we were imperfect. Yes, we did things wrong, but we are trying to make the world better for the next generation. What are we doing today to love our neighbor of tomorrow? That's a challenge, right? Because it's so easy to get caught up in the moment and only deal with today. And we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to love our neighbor, love God with all that we are, and love our neighbor as ourselves. But what comes out of that is also an extension, not just for today, but into tomorrow. So I challenge you and I challenge myself. What are you doing today that shows love for your neighbor of tomorrow? Amen.